Welcome to rock bottom. Population me. Life was not always beautiful for me money-wise. It was May 2009. I was lying in bed alone and in a world of self-inflicted pain, trying to work out how I was going to get it all together, and deeply regretting opening that third bottle of wine last night with my friends. At that moment, I felt like I'd lost everything. My business was gone, and my business partner had spent the last 3 months putting me through legal hell, only to accept the settlement I'd offered from the beginning. My boyfriend had recently moved out, and someone had told me he'd just bought a house. He'd landed on his feet, in other words. This was odd, because when we were together, he didn't have any money. In that moment, lying on my bed, I felt stuck, ashamed, and broke. As I was wallowing in this deep and shameful pain, a voice popped into my head. This is all your fault. I realised that I'd been completely faking it up until that moment. Sure, I'd spent years working in banking and finance, but somehow I was in debt up to my eyeballs and utterly out of control with money. I was good at my job and great at handing out advice and judgments, while not taking any of the advice myself. I knew I needed to make a swift and radical change to the way I was dealing with money if I was going to be able to get myself back on track. And that morning, hungover and filled with a deep sense of shame and failure, was day one. The first day of the rest of my life. The changes I made were small ones at first. I started reading books by money experts and tried their money management strategies. Some of these focused on calculating how much I earned and making a very tight budget to fit that. Others were about changing my attitude to money with affirmations, note cards, positive thinking. I made a budget for myself, and like a diet, I stuck to it for a little while. I also tried keeping a certain amount of money in my wallet and a certain amount in my bank account. I tried shopping cheaply, selling stuff on eBay for extra money. I tried affirmations. But something would always come up and I would break my vows. I'd spend too much and fall in a heap, sliding back to shame because I was getting wrong what everyone else seemed to be getting effortlessly right. It felt like being bad with money was a shameful secret, which made crawling out of the hole I found myself in that much more difficult. I didn't understand what I was missing and why so many others who'd followed budgets and the like were succeeding while I was failing. Learning to talk openly about money. It's curious that in a society where we overshare almost every minor detail of our lives through social media, and everything can be researched and discovered on the information superhighway, as individuals, we rarely talk about money. We don't tell our friends what we earn or what we spend. We don't talk retirement strategies, investments, or day-to-day money management. We don't get taught about the day-to-day practicalities of money at school, and as children, our parents probably don't include us in conversations about money much either. As I realised these facts and marinated on them in the context of my own life, I realised, somewhat sheepishly, that there was one place in my life that I could talk about money openly, honestly, and without judgment. With my clients. 2 life-changing realisations. As a financial services professional, I was allowed a glimpse into the personal financial situations of dozens, if not hundreds, of everyday people. In addition to helping those who were wrestling with their finances as I was, giving them advice that I knew but failed to action for myself, I realised I could learn from those clients who were on top of their money. The ones who came to me not to dig themselves out of a ditch, but to build on the already strong foundations wealth they already had. This was, as Oprah says, my aha moment. In observing the habits and demeanour of the clients whose wealth I managed, I discovered that people who were good with money all had things in common. First and foremost, they had the attitude that money was a tool to help them live their life on their terms. They had an air of organisation and control. None of them lived on tight budgets, and none punished themselves for sometimes getting things wrong when it came to spending or saving money. The best part? Not all of these clients had an income that made saving or spending money easy. They weren't all doctors and lawyers. They were teachers, healthcare workers, small business owners. Some were younger, some were older, but they all had a positive attitude in regard to their money. So I made a conscious decision to change my attitude from I'm no good with money to I'm in control of my money.